Welcome to Secrets to Wellness. Our topic in our second wellness secret is exercise. So we need to exercise. Yes, exercise is very important. It is one of those 8 natural remedies. So we need to exercise because exercise is a law of life. And exercise is an ancient prescription for abundant health, right from the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve were made to exercise, and we were made to exercise. So we need exercise daily, not just weekly, not monthly, but daily. Every day we all need exercise. And researchers at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention analyzed the survey data collected on exercise from more than 450,000 adults in the United States ages 18 and older. And this is what they discovered. The report was that 80% of American adults don't get the recommended exercise. So we're not getting enough exercise. More than 25% of Americans do not devote any time at all to physical activity. So we need physical activity if we're going to live healthier, happier, and longer. But look, the recommended amount is only 2.5 hours a week of moderate exercise. That's only 30 minutes a day for 5 days a week. So we don't need a whole lot to really be healthy, but the CBS News reported from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention that linked physical inactivity to more than 5 million deaths worldwide per year, more than those caused by smoking. In fact, cancer is now linked not only to smoking, my friends, but it also is linked to obesity. And the survey revealed that only 20.6% of people met the total recommended amounts of exercise. So how many people do you think in the United States even own a pair of running shoes but don't even run? So they have those shoes in the closet, but they're not using them. Well, it's an alarming 87% that actually have probably more than one pair of running shoes in their closet, and yet they're not using them. They're not walking. They're not running. And Ralph Waldo Emerson said this: "When you have worn out your shoes, the strength of the shoe leather has passed into the fiber of your body. I measure your health by the number of shoes and hats and clothes that you've worn out." So we need to use those shoes. We need to get out and walk if we're truly going to live to that healthy 100. So let's look at some hazards of inactivity. Well, there are those killer diseases again: heart disease, cancer, osteoporosis, anxiety and depression, diabetes. All of these are linked to inactivity, my friends. So if you want to feel better, be more energetic, reduce the risk of chronic diseases, and even live longer, develop a regular exercise program. This truly will help us to not only feel more energetic, but also live longer. Exercise, my friends, has so many benefits. And I want you to be healthy. I want you to live longer. And so you can, if you take these things we're talking about and implement them into your lifestyle. Well, let's look at the first thing. Exercise helps control your weight. And obesity is on the rise, and we need to help control the weight. A lack of activity is the major cause of obesity. About the only exercise some people get is that hand-finger exercise with the remote control. We're a sedentary nation, and we need to get out and exercise. You'll feel so much better, and you'll be so much healthier. Look, the obesity problem is rising around the world as we travel to so many places, whether it's, Africa, India, Europe, United States, around the world. In many countries, 56% are overweight or obese. And yet, exercise increases your muscle mass, raising your metabolic rate, enabling you to burn more fat. So, we have to burn those calories if we're actually going to control our weight. Well, let's look at some ways that calories burn up in 30 minutes. Let's just look at swimming, for example. Women will burn calories in just 30 minutes, 114, and men, 144. If you like gardening, that's pretty good exercise. You'll burn women 126 calories, and men 150. And then if you're just brisk walking, 165, and the men will burn 195. And if you get on that bicycle and go out and get some good exercise, you'll burn women 177 calories in just 30 minutes, and men 213 calories. So exercise is a good way to control some of that overweight problem that we have. And exercise number 2 helps reduce the risk of chronic diseases. The diseases that we've been talking about here on 3ABN are the ones that we're fighting against, and we can help with just some of these health secrets. You see, guidelines from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention demonstrate that regular exercise reduces the risk of developing major illnesses such as heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers. So exercise is another one of those great secrets, and exercise and physical activity deliver oxygen and nutrients to the whole tissues and help your cardiovascular system work more efficiently. Again, we see the importance of exercise. Exercise decreases the risk of certain cancers such as breast, colon, and prostate, which are on the rise. And this is research done in the International Agency for Research on Cancer. And the National Cancer Institute reported that physical activity is linked to a 50% lower risk of getting colon cancer. Oh, if we only could see that God's remedies are the best ones. The Harvard Nurses Health Study, which has been tracking the health behaviors of more than 200,000 women for more than 3 decades, has shown that moderate walking for an average of 30 minutes a day can lower the risk of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes by 30 to 40%, and the risk of breast cancer by 20 to 30%. This is amazing, my friends. We can actually reduce heart disease, stroke, diabetes for between 30 and 40%. So I'm sure that you're going to get out there and use those walking shoes, because exercise is one of God's remedies. And then number 3, exercise helps reduce detrimental effects of stress and helps alleviate depression. If you're feeling a little down sometime, it may be good to just get out and do some extra exercising. Get out in the fresh air and the sunshine. And the Mayo Clinic has reported that exercise in almost any form acts as a stress reliever. So all these studies are showing us how important exercise is. The physical activity helps bump up the production of your brain's feel-good neurotransmitters called endorphins. And exercise pumps up those endorphins so you actually feel better. And being active can boost those feel-good endorphins and distract you from those daily worries. That's what we want to do, is reduce the stress level in your life. And so, Harvard study finds that the single most effective tool to battle depression is exercise. Now, I know that there's a very, very high percent of people that feel depressed today, but we can actually curb some of that by just simply getting out and getting some good exercise. During the 11-year study, participants were asked about the frequency and intensity of their physical activity, both at work and during leisure time. And then the researchers classified participants into 4 categories: sedentary activity, low activity, moderate activity, and high activity. And this is what they found. The researchers concluded that those with the higher psychological well-being at the start of the study displayed greater levels of physical activity more than a decade later. So you have just so much better attitudes, and your whole well-being is increased when we exercise. Let's look at the health section, Mail Online from Britain, May 17, 2017, and it says this: "It's official. You can walk away stress. Scientists discover how a stroll can soothe the brain. And walking briskly or jogging activates soothing neurons in the brain, and these neurons help dull feelings of stress, anxiety, and even depression." So if you want to lower the depression level, get out and exercise with your head erect and your shoulders back, swinging those arms, and you will feel so much better. And now scientists have found that going for a brisk walk or a jog really does calm people down by triggering nerve cells in the brain that relax the senses. And soothing neurons are activated in the brain when we walk, when we jog, or when we run, which can help ease the symptoms of stress, anxiety, and depression. So the scientific studies are there, my friends. Regular exercise can boost your mood if you have depression, and it's especially useful for people with mild to even moderate depression. Again, exercise is one of those secrets that we're talking about. Physical activity stimulates various brain chemicals that may leave you actually feeling happier. So we need to get moving out there to manage even our stress. We need daily exercise. It needs to be not just once a week, or even some people exercise less than that, but it needs to be every single day, or at least 5 times a week. And Plato said this: "Lack of activity destroys the good condition of every human being, while movement and methodical physical exercise save it and preserve it." So exercise, my friends, will give you a good, put you in a good mood. And then exercise will also help reduce that chronic pain. As you get older, you seem to have some of those, back pains and other pain, but actually exercise will help reduce that chronic pain. In fact, the Mayo Clinic staff study on chronic pain said this: "Exercise releases endorphins, which are morphine-like molecules produced by the body, reducing chronic pain for many people." So even our pain level will be lowered by exercise. And then exercise will boost your energy. I want more energy, don't you? If you want more energy, get out there in some form of exercise. But there's good news, my friends. Exercise helps to build your immune system. And we need a strong immune system if we're going to be healthy. And good news, my friends, exercise helps build you physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So we have all of these linked together that we talked about earlier. And good news, you'll feel so great, my friends, that you will think you have discovered the fountain of youth once you start exercising. In fact, Laura Baker from the Wake Forest School of Medicine said this: regular aerobic exercise could be a fountain of youth for the brain. So you may think you found that fountain of youth when you start exercising. I thought I had discovered the new fountain of youth when I ran my first marathon. In fact, 2 years ago, I ran my first marathon. And I ran for 3 basic reasons. First, I wanted to improve my own health. I had gone to a seminar in Geneva, Switzerland, and I was teaching a seminar on nutrition, and I had some extra time there, and so I took a class on exercise, and I learned all the benefits of exercise, and so that inspired me to exercise more myself and even run the marathon. And I wanted to inspire others as I exercised and ran that 26.2 mile marathon. And then also, I actually raised some funds for our new church and health and training and community center. And we're using this training center to teach others these principles of health and many other spiritual principles as well. And so, you don't have to run a marathon, my friends, but I'll tell you, after I walked and ran that 26.2 miles and crossed the finish line, I felt absolutely great. But you need to prepare for that. You need to train for it and make sure that you are ready when that day comes. But God blessed me as I came in 3rd in my age category. And then I was so invigorated, I decided to run the 2nd marathon. But this time I had my daughter with me, and she ran with me, and I came in 2nd in the marathon in my age group. And it was a wonderful experience when we ran together, both my daughter Rebecca and myself. And I felt wonderful. But you don't have to run a marathon to be healthy. You just need to exercise daily. That's all. You don't have to be running a marathon, just walk and exercise. Exercise helps strengthen the bones. There are so many benefits that we have, but it helps strengthen our bones, and it reduces the risk of osteoporosis. And exercise improves our learning. We do better in school, we do better at our work, we perform better when we exercise. Exercise is one of God's ways of slowing down the progression of even Alzheimer's disease. Exercise is important, water is important, all of these things that are God's remedies for these chronic diseases will help us live longer, healthier, and happier. The University of California conducted research with laboratory mice and discovered that exercise can slow the progression of Alzheimer's disease. Why is it so many people today are even getting Alzheimer's disease? It's because of not only their lack of water, but also because of lack of exercise. So we need to get them up and out, because the Journal of American Geriatric Society in 1991 said this: 40% of Alzheimer's patients on a walking exercise program significantly even improved in their communication skills. So you can improve as you incorporate these principles into your lifestyle. And John F. Kennedy, 35th President of the United States, said this: physical fitness is not only one of the most important keys to a healthy body, but it's the basis of dynamic and creative, intellectual activity. So we need it not only for our physical health, but we need it as well for our mental health. And John Ratey, MD, medical doctor from Harvard Medical School, psychiatrist and author, in his book Spark, said this: exercise is the single best thing that you can do for your brain in terms of mood, memory, and learning. So there are so many benefits to this secret to health, my friends. And so begin exercising. In fact, Dr. Ratey believes that even 10 minutes of daily activity changes your brain. So think of what 30 minutes or 60 minutes will do. Amazing. And according to an October 20, 2009 U.S. News and World Report article, researchers of Duke University Medical Center in Durham, North Carolina, reported that exercise after brain radiation treatment protects against memory loss and depression. And best of all, my friends, exercise slows down the aging process. Now, we can't completely stop the aging process, but we can certainly slow it down. And the University of Florida College of Health and Human Performance found that a steady routine of exercise slows part of the aging process. So we can actually slow it down by just incorporating these principles into our lifestyle. The University of California, San Francisco researchers found that stressed out women who exercised vigorously for an average of 45 minutes over a 3-day period had cells that showed fewer signs of aging compared to women who were stressed and not active. So our cells are actually showing signs of not aging at the same rate as those who are not getting exercise. Exercise, my friends, may actually work on a cellular level to reverse the toll of stress on our aging process so we can slow down this aging process. And that's what I want you, my friends, to know, is that it takes discipline. I get out there in the snow, in the rain, whether the weather is good or bad, and exercise, and that's what we do. So here's some principles of exercise. Exercise regularly. You'll have half the risk of these killer diseases as inactive people. And then we have to make exercise a priority. We have to choose to exercise. We have to choose to get out there and walk. We have to make it a priority. Someone says, well, what kind of exercise should I do? Well, there's so many different things. You can walk is the best, but you can boat, you can swing a golf club, you can do all kinds of different activity. But there are 3 types of exercise. First, there's flexibility or the stretching exercises. Then there's strength building or lifting weights or even hard physical labor. And then there's aerobic or endurance exercise. And so, but the very best is just walking. That's the best form of exercise. And guess what, my friends? We can all do that. And it doesn't cost anything. And we only need a pair of good walking shoes. We don't even have to have expensive equipment, just a good pair of walking shoes. And we need to walk at the very least, 30 minutes a day. Now, I like to exercise out in nature, and so does my husband. We get on our bikes and we ride through the trails. It's a wonderful stress reliever. And exercise in nature is just amazing. And in this exercise, all the organs of the body are brought into use. So when we walk with our head erect and our shoulders back, we get that good exercise that enables all of our organs to be in use. Learn to take the stairs rather than the elevator or the escalator. So we need to make exercise a priority by thinking that we don't park so close to the grocery store, but maybe a little further away, and take the stairs when we can. But exercise regularly, my friends. It is just as important as a good diet, just as important as water and some of these other natural remedies. And principle number 2, enjoy your exercise. So choose and make it a priority, but then enjoy exercise. Walk on the beach, or take a walk among the trees, or out where the flowers are, or swim. Whatever exercise you enjoy, just do, because that, and do it with your family and with the children. You can exercise. I love exercising with my grandchildren. It is lots of fun. But every day, get exercise, sunshine, and fresh air. So here is your prescription, my friends. Walk at least 30 minutes a day, 30 to 60 minutes. I try to get in an hour, and at least an hour to an hour and a half a day. I walked already this morning in the cold and in the wet and rain and dampness. At least 45 minutes this morning, and we'll walk another 45 minutes this evening. But walk at least 30 minutes with your head erect in the sunshine, your shoulders back, and take those deep breaths, and you will be healthier. You and your family will be on the road to better health. And so to enjoy vitality and the best of health, you must be active for life. And regardless of your age, my friends, you can be active. John 10:10 says this, I have come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. God wants us to have the abundant life. And so we need to exercise. So it's time to exercise for life, my friends. Those of you that are watching there on 3ABN, get up off the sofa, get up off that couch and get off that easy chair, and let's exercise. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now the right arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we need to go, and we need to run a little bit here. So let's go a little faster. Let's go. Come on, now let's jump some rope. Let's jump forwards. And now we need to jump backwards. We need to exercise for life, my friends. Now we need to punch that bag. We need to go. And now every day, my friends, let's slow down. We need to exercise for life because this is God's remedy. So may God bless you as you determine to exercise for life.